Hello, people. Back at it again. Another episode of The World is Burning. If you're new here, take a seat. Subscribe if you would. We're very close to 600. I think we're on 599 right now. Join the community, guys. We've got a cracking community going on. We're just looking at the economic issues everyone's going through, covering some of these 2024 collapses. Today, we are looking at car repossessions, people, and we are looking at this car crisis that's going on right now. I'm not going to dwell into that. If you go look at some of the previous videos about this car loan issue that everyone's going through, everyone's buying far too much car and their monthly bills are just shooting up because of it. But today we're specifically looking at repos. A lot of people are losing their stuff. A lot of people are going into repossession. A recent study by Fitch Ratings found more subprime borrowers were 60 days or more behind on their car payments. That's not a good sign, people. That is not a good sign. This is more than any other time on record. After a couple of down years, vehicle repossessions are up 20.4%. I mean, that's just such vehicle repossession. There was already a lot of repos going on, but it has shot up. During the pandemic, Americans received stimulus funds to spend on themselves and their cars. Subsequently, less people were missing payments. However, when the free government money dried up, more people started to default on their auto payments and repossessions began to upturn. And here's the thing, guys. A lot of these people are going to be underwater on their loans now. They were spending too much on the cars. They were trying to get cars as quick as possible and were paying over ticket prices. And now it's not working out for them. And you know, if you owe 20 grand on a car but it's worth 14 grand now, you just walk away from it. That's what a lot of people are doing. It's the perfect storm. Vehicle repossessions rocket as the average monthly car payment for new cars jumped 26% in 3 years, and prolonged inflation puts pressure on household budgets. Look at that, guys. 26% is jumped up in 3 years, and they'll tell you that the inflation's at 4%. Make it make sense. And here's the thing. People don't have spare money anymore, so now they're going to have to cut back. Oh, God, what's going on here? There was something interesting in here I wanted to look at. Yeah, look here. Technically, as soon as a loan or credit account is delinquent, the lender can take action to repossess the property tied to the loan. Lenders can repossess a vehicle without notice. Generally, cars are repossessed once payments are 90 days in default. Though technically they can do it with one missed payment, lenders do not need to do it. Okay, so what this is saying is they start really repoing after 90 days. That's 3 missed payments. But we go back to this one, guys. We're saying this is the most in history that we've had more borrowers that were 60 days or more delinquent. We're going to see a wave. We are going to see an absolute wave of people taking back their cars because no one's paying the bills. And then you start looking into what is the total US car loans that are outstanding. 1.6 trillion, people. 1.6 trillion. Everywhere you look, it's 1.6 trillion. That is a hell of a big number. We're talking trillion with a T here, not billion with a B. And if people start defaulting at a crazy rate, that's going to have such a knock-on effect. It's really going to have such a knock-on effect. Auto loan delinquencies hit 13-year high as monthly car payments get bigger. And this is what's driving it all, people. You know, back in the day, you could get a car for $200, $300, $400 a month, a decent car. Now you start looking at it, and it's, you know, it says in here the average monthly payment on a new car loan rose to $623 in the fourth quarter. And that's just for the car loan, that's not anything else included. So let's get into it. Let's see what the world's saying about these repos. Let's get into it. I haven't seen any of these
All right,
videos.
so you know how you guys see the Repo Reaper all over TikTok? Well, let me show you some data because honestly, the delinquency and repo rate, it is skyrocketing. The delinquency rate and repo rate for subprime auto loans has only ever been higher one time before in history. You can see it right there. Back in August of 2019, nearly 6% of subprime auto loans were delinquent. We are right back there. Now, this chart might look, like you can't read it, but I'm going to zoom in on it here in a second, and it is alarming. These are the top 25 banks that give out auto loans. You've got Capital One, Ally, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Santander. Now, look at this, what their delinquency rates are. Capital One's at 5.67, Ally's at 4.92, and Santander is at 9.22%.
So almost 10% of their loans, guys, almost 10% are going unpaid. Like, what the hell?
Watch out for the Reaper because Wells Fargo and Toyota Financial Services, they're actually adding incentives to their repo providers. They're incentivizing them with cash bonuses to go repo their cars. All right, so you know.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. If you want to get into a good job right now, I'd be looking into the repo market, see if you can get a job doing that, because there's going to be a lot of these cars that are going to need to be picked up because people just aren't paying the bills.
Okay, my girlfriend's in the shower, so I gotta make this quick. I don't want to say this is breaking news, but Experian put out some data about loan delinquencies, and it is not a good looking picture. Let me show you what the heck's going on. First, what is a loan delinquency? It's when someone doesn't pay on their auto loan. Back in Q3 of 2020, 1.66% of auto loans were more than 30 days behind on payment. Okay, she's coming, so I really gotta be quick. Experian looked at all the data for all 50 states plus Washington, D.C. The current best state is Utah, where 4.5% of auto loans are 30 days behind on payment. The three worst states are Louisiana, Mississippi, and Washington, D.C. Look at those numbers. That says 23.4% of auto.
Guys, 23.4, this is ridiculous. That means almost a quarter of all auto loans aren't going paid in Washington.
30 days behind or more. Wow. So what's this mean? It means you're about to see a lot of repossessed vehicles, which might mean that the bubble of the used car price bubble for used cars might finally burst because there's going to be a lot of inventory.
Yep, guys, you might get yourself a deal in the next 12 to 24 months. This comment here from Scott, all those 75 months, 22% Dodge Charger loans going to be in default soon. Yes, they are. Please don't ever get a car loan for 75 months, people. I know, to be honest, the community here, you all seem pretty clued up on this stuff, so I don't want to teach you how to, suck eggs and whatnot, but never ever get into a 75-month car loan.
Here's why buying repos is worth it. It's simply becoming harder and harder for people to keep up with their loans. For example, with this M2 competition, it's a repossession, and I got a crazy good deal on it because it was a repo vehicle. BMW Financial would never sell a car like this on their lot. But I would buy a car like this and sell it myself. This car wasn't sold by a traditional dealership. It was actually sold by a lender, and BMW Financial is technically a lender. And what BMW Financial was trying to do is just recoup their losses from this vehicle. So they're going to take any money that they can possibly get at the auction. So their loss becomes my gain. A repo car is way more affordable than a traditional used car that you buy off the used car market. But one thing that does matter is the condition. And the condition on repo vehicles aren't always perfect. You will always see imperfections or flaws with it. Like this repo, for example, has a front end accident, curb rash on the wheels, a dent right here. But I still sold this vehicle, and my client is actually on the way to come pick it up. He had no issues with it. He got approved for financing, and he loves his car. He wants.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. In America, though, I think to start going buying some of these repo things, you do need a dealer's license. So look into that, guys, if you're trying to get a bit of a deal on a car.
It is keyed all the way around. This is a repo. It is a 2019 chapter.
Christ, someone's pissed off the girlfriend here. Someone's been cheating. My God.
And it's only got 9,000 miles on it. Repo. We have 5 full rows of bank repos at this auction. All right, here's a 2019 Toyota Tacoma that got repoed. It's only got 50,000 miles on it. There's Camaro, there's a Corvette, nice Tacoma. All right, so today we're doing something a little bit differently. I brought you to actually a massive auction. So you can see this, I'm doing this badly. So you see this whole massive facility. This is a very large auction that we're at today. And the reason I wanted to come here today is because they run a lot of bank cars here at this auction. And what do we know bank cars are? They're repos. And they're not just your run-of-the-mill, buy here, pay here, subprime lending repos. These are actually your prime borrowers that are getting their cars. They're defaulting on their loans, and they're getting their cars snatched up by these larger banks. And I want to go in here and see the amount that they're actually running through these lanes. And I wanted to see the quality and what types of cars are actually getting repoed by these big banks. That's what we're going to do today, so let's go inside.
Yeah, guys, we'll move on from this one. But yeah, auctions, get looking into them if you're trying to buy a car. It's probably a cheaper way of doing it.
That is not a good headline. Car repos are exploding. That's a bad omen. We're starting to see more and more repossessions, which means the bubble, the used car price bubble, may finally be bursting. Now, you might not like me, but you might like my dad. He spent 40 plus years selling cars. We're actually going live on YouTube in about 30 minutes, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Just go to YouTube, search Car Repos Exploding. Join us live. Let's leave a comment in the chat. We'll talk.
It's only a repo if the repo man actually came and seized the vehicle. If you surrendered the vehicle, it's not. And it shouldn't be on your report as a repo.
Audi Financial does not want to sell this car. This repo has been running for the last 4 to 5 weeks. Honestly, since almost last year. Check this out right here. The interior is super nice. I'm at the auction looking for another repo to buy for myself since I wasn't able to get the M340 and it ended up being messed up. This is it right here. The valves are closed right now, so won't be able to hear the full exhaust, but man, it's a good looking car. This is one thing that I don't like about Audis is how the engine sits right in front of the front wheel axle. So it just creates a lot of understeer and oversteer when you're driving it. That's why I'm not a huge fan of Audis. This X7's been here for a while too. It's got 18,000 miles. I think I may have recorded this before. Look at these seats. They just keep no-selling or they're not getting their reserve.
Do you hear that? They're not even making the reserve at the auctions, guys. So the banks need to make some of the money back, and there's not even enough money to go about to get a steal on some of these cars.
Or like, you know, it's not bringing enough at the auction, so they'll no-sell it. And what happens with a no-sale is they'll just continue to run it every single week until somebody finally purchases it for what they want it for. But usually the most you'll get at the auction is at the first week it runs.
How bad is the economy? This is how bad the economy is. Look at all these repos, and these are just Volkswagen and Audi repos. Look at that. Here is 2 e-trons. One is a RS and one is a GT. This is the RS. Look at this. RS. Full electric. I won't start it up because you guys will not hear anything. It's electric. Look at the back though. The GT does have like sway seats. I don't know. It's weird. I've never seen that before. Same thing with the steering wheel. But what y'all think about these? Here are some of the repos in the Volkswagen area. 2 GTIs. This one is a 2022. Black on black. It is an automatic. And it's dead. Yep, it will not start. Welcome to Volkswagen. And here's the white one. This one has got like the cream. Well, nah, it's like silver and black with red stitching. Sunroof. It is a 6-speed. Let's start it. Also won't start. Okay. Having a repo is one of the worst things that you can have on your credit, and here's why. When you want to buy a car and you want to finance, the bank will look at your credit history and see exactly what's on there. If they do see a repo on there, they get automatically turned off and decline you, even though if you got your credit up a little bit. Credit score doesn't really matter that much. It's all about the history on the credit. So some people will have a credit card and try to go buy a car and they get declined even though they have a 750 credit score. That's because it's called limited credit. You have to have something big on your credit. So if your parents have you as like a co-signer on one of their cars, or they put you on their credit, then we will show the same thing that's shown on their credit. So we'll show if they have a car financing, if they have the mortgage, etc. That will build your credit up. Banks used to approve people with like just a credit card and, you know, a good credit score, but they stopped doing that a long time ago because they realized these people can't really afford the cars that they're buying. So now they consider that a limited credit, which means you're limited on what you can buy and the limit that you can, you know, exceed.
Yeah, and
That is the economy. This is how bad.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. Good luck trying to get another car on finance or getting another car loan if you've just been repoed. They're just, especially in this climate, they're just not going to do it. Some good comments here. People out here buying cars they can't afford in the first place. That is what has caused this entire nightmare. This comment's good as well. Paid off car is better than financing your life away. That is the truth. We'll do one more than get out here, guys. Leave me a comment though. I love hearing from the community. Have you experienced repos? Have you gone through this? Love to hear your take on it and where you are in the world.
These look like all CarMax repos right here. I'm at the CarMax auction right now looking at repos. They got a Camaro SS here. I mean, just look at this condition. It's not too bad on the interior though. CarMax usually doesn't leave the key in it because they leave announcements on the vehicles. As you can see right there, this right here is another repo, Lexus. Look, another repo. CarMax definitely is in trouble. The amount of people that are defaulting on their loans is crazy. Another repo right there, the Subaru WRX. You know, the crazy thing about it is CarMax used to not be known as like a subprime lender, but now they are. They literally approve anybody with a work history. It's really like a repo boneyard for real. Look, another one. All of them. All of them. These are all from CarMax Financial. And CarMax is now subprime lender, honestly. You don't even need work history to get approved with CarMax, which is crazy. You could literally lie on your application, and a lot of people do that. It used to be like when you come to CarMax, it would just be a bunch of trade-ins, but you don't even see those now. It's all repos. If you see the red sticker, it's a repo. Shit's crazy. Like, oh.
And look at that, guys. They're all nice cars. People shouldn't have had these in the first place. We'll end it with this comment from Mary. Best thing I ever did was pay off my car and not get a new one. 2013 Accord till the wheels fall off. And this is the mindset we all need, people. Now's not the time to be getting big fancy car loans. You want to have your monthly minimums as low as possible and drive that old car until it dies. Leave me a comment, guys. We'll leave it there. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.